Hello there everyone and welcome back to RealScreenReviews.com. I'm Nick Yakabuchi and I'm happy to have with me today returning guest critic, the lovely Debbie DeAngelo. Debbie, thank you for being here today. And she was glad enough to take time out of her day to review the movie The American with George Clooney that opened in nationwide release on Wednesday, September 1st, 2010. And it comes to us from director Anton Corbijn, the director of Control, an art house music biopic from back in 2007. This is his first crack at a mainstream movie. And now I will turn it over to my guest critic to tell us a little bit about The American, but I usually guess whether or not she likes the movie. And after she's done giving the premise, I want to give it a shot, so go ahead.
I'm still trying to figure out what the movie's about. Ever since I attended that movie, I was thinking,
now, when did you see it? Did you see it just yesterday, a couple days ago?
Just a couple days ago, even during the movie. I was bored.
Yeah, well, it's funny you should say that.
I was thinking, is this over yet? What is this movie about? Well, have we reached the climax of it? What is it?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that you did not like this movie.
You got that?
Well, I'll tell you what, the first thing, and I can't be in more agreement with her, this is just not a good movie. This is not an entertaining film. And right off the bat, the thing that really got me is it's just like the movie The Last Airbender from 4th of July weekend in two ways. One, it's not a good movie, just like The Last Airbender is not a good movie. But they spent the last 3 months, billing this movie and selling this movie to the American public as if this is the next Bourne Identity, this is an edge-of-your-seat thrill ride, and they could have been truthful about the whole situation and said, this is a drama, this is a slow-moving drama. If it was any slower, I think it would be in reverse. But it's, as I said to other people, it's not the next Bourne Identity, it's the next Bored Identity.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
I just felt like it was a bunch of non sequiturs kind of put together, like nothing made sense, nothing flowed, and then they never connected the dots. They left so many loose ends, and I'm thinking, well, why'd they put that in there?
Absolutely.
How are they going to pull this together? And they never really did.
And something else that just irritated me the whole time is, like, with that opening sequence, like, he's like an assassin in the opening sequence, it's kind of like an action sequence. Then he actually kills somebody in cold blood, and I thought that that was going to add, like, another dimension to this character. And what it did is it started off with this great premise, and the whole time I kept saying, okay, this really could be a good movie, but it just isn't. And they never did anything to beef up the story. They never did anything to make it exciting. Agree or disagree?
No, I agree. And I guess I would describe it as saying it's a movie about a hitman who wants to retire. And throughout the movie, you can tell, like, George Clooney doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue.
No.
He's very expressive with his face. However, even though you get the impression that he's got a lot on his mind, he never really conveys it to the audience, so you're wondering, what are you thinking about? What do those faces mean?
And I couldn't agree with you more. Like, when the movie was over, I kind of said to myself, why did I even come and see this film? It really, it didn't follow through with any story that it shot forth with at the beginning. And then
the love interests were implausible.
Oh my God!
If you're having relationships with call girls, love interest, I'm using that euphemistically.
His love interest was by the hour.
Well, and that brings me to a good point. One of the sex scenes in the movie is so explicit and so graphic. I was so glad I didn't bring, like, my teenage nieces and nephews or my parents, because I would have been really, really uncomfortable.
Now, it is rated R, but it does really push, I think, even the rated R envelope a little bit. And I'll tell you, the thing that really got me throughout this entire thing, they try to give you a little bit of action right at the end, but they must have sat down and said to themselves, okay, we've delivered not quite a credible film, but they come up with the absolute worst ending they could possibly come up with to end this film. It's not a Hollywood ending. It's not a happy ending. And then it just ends.
And I didn't really understand part of the ending.
Well, he's trying to, run away into the sunset.
No, not even that. Back it up. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but.
Of course he's trying to run away into the sunset.
Who's killing who? And I'm thinking, well, I thought he was on his side. Who's the good guy? Are there any good guys? I mean, I just didn't understand that.
And it was kind of just a big mess.
Amongst the hitmen.
It was just a big mess. And it's like the movie never tried to explain anything. It just left a whole bunch of unanswered questions.
What about the priest?
Yeah,
what was his role in the whole movie?
It's like there are characters in this film for almost no reason, and I saw it on opening day, and I've talked to other people that have seen it outside of Deb, and everybody's all in agreement that this is just a waste of everyone's time. All right, obviously we can't just beat this movie up over and over again, but we'll cut to the stars. How many stars are you going to give this?
0.
She's gonna give it 0 stars. For the first time since we've been doing this, a movie gets 0 stars. Now I'm gonna give it 1 star because I'm gonna say, I usually give a movie 1 star just because it's, you know, it's well acted. I didn't see the microphones hanging from the ceiling. I didn't see guys with fishing reels for, like, you know, the special effects.
George Clooney looks good.
Okay.
I give him 4 stars, but I'm not giving the movie.
He's aged well as an actor, I'll give him that, but, you know, he even missteps. There's Solaris. He's misstepped over the years, and this is definitely a definite misfire. I'll tell you, save your money, and more on top of that, save your time, and don't go see The American. Agreed?
You got it.
Okay, and remember, people, we're not always right, only when it comes to the movies. And thank you for your attention.